let's listen back. So the cursor is all the way at the beginning. Here we go. I'm going to press play. Hey everybody, this is Greg from Brooklyn Music Factory. We are going to look into the Smart Drummer function of GarageBand. This is really good for our students that are not drummers who want to get an idea down and feel like they've got a whole band. Like, this is very, very good for demo purposes. Drum students, I have a different thing to show you where you can actually program your own drums. But the ones that we're looking into, they're just pre-programmed beats, lots of different variations, very good for demoing things that are not for drum students. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to create song. Before we get this drummer selected, I do want to set up something for us as our own recording. So here, this is for our purposes. This will be tracking our guitar or vocal or bass or piano, whatever it is that we're doing. I'm going to get out of this particular track view. I'm going to go up to that icon. We are in session view now. So here's our track. This is the track that we will be recording on. I'm going to turn off the metronome. If I were to get very serious and know exactly what tempo I was getting into, I would go into the settings, but that was all outlined in the intro to GarageBand video. So watch that for just setting up your session. But for now, we're going to go down to this plus sign. We're going to add a track. There are two different ways of adding drums, and I want to review both of them with you. So you're going to swipe through. This is your smart drummer. So these are the pre-programmed beats that GarageBand offers. But if you scroll more, these are the drums. So these are drums that you can program. So this is better for drummers that have an idea of what they would like to play and want to be specific. You'd literally be writing your drum parts in, which is super cool. It really helps you with notation. It's very user-friendly. But for today, this video is focusing on the Smart Drummer. So it has two different options. It has acoustic, like a drum kit, and then it has like electronic beats as well. We're going to take a look at the acoustic kit for today. So here we go. We have 8 measures, which is actually what I would recommend when you are looking for a drum groove, because it loops the same 8 measures. And you could do lots of editing and hear what that loop sounds like. So I would recommend staying at 8 measures. I know in my last video I was like, add lots of measures so that you have a lot of time or a lot of stuff to work with. But this is a little bit friendlier this way when you're just checking out a drummer, at least. Okay, so what's really funny about GarageBand is that they offer different people, different drummers. There's Kyle and Logan and Darcy and Mason. So they just have like different vibes. These drummers are a little bit more aggressive. These drummers are a little bit like calmer drum beats. There's so many different variations, which is super cool. I like Logan because he's like more influenced by like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. It's really funny to like read their bios too. It's just like, I don't know. Just check them out. They're absolutely ridiculous. So we're gonna go with Logan today. And as you can see, there's a lot going on here. Let's just go through each thing one by one. Sorry if you saw that notification. Right over here, we have presets. So these are just different drum grooves that they play. So yeah, there's just a lot of different options. So these are the different grooves, okay? Now within those grooves, you can set, this is really, really great. You can set its intensity, so loud or soft, complex or simple. So you could really get some different vibes here. Let's just listen to it. Here, we're gonna press play. So this is his AM Gold groove. Pretty basic, right? So let's get into complex. Actually not very complex. Let's see what soft and simple sounds like. Oh, see? So it's got softer, less hits, loud and complex. What about loud but simple? What about soft but complex? Oh, I think it still thinks here. Oh, there we go. Didn't have time to adjust. That's soft and complex. So that's a really cool option. I love that. And then that goes for each of the different grooves. So you have a groove, and then you could alter it here too. So that's a ton of options, like literally hundreds of different drum groove options. And that's just the start. Down here we have fills. So if you want it to be super busy with a lot of drum fills, you could up it. And usually, listen. Now I think a lot of drum fills kind of sound silly. You'd be surprised if you put it down to like almost the minimum. It seems like a very sane amount of drum fills. If you pump it up, it just sounds like one gigantic drum fill the entire time. Drum fills are like digga digga bigga digga bugga bugga ba 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 boom, and then beats are what we're listening to now, just like a steady beat. Cool. So that's what this is all about. I would set it low. Then you can select what parts of the kit you want to be highlighted. So right now, the main focus is on the kick drum, snare, and hi-hat. Kick drum and snare are what you're going to want for most of the tune that you're recording, and hi-hats too. But if you wanted it to be tom heavy, pretty cool. Or if you wanted to switch it to more like cymbal heavy, you could do that. I'm going to go back to hi-hat because that's like a very basic groove. And then what if you wanted to add a tambourine? That's pretty neat. You can turn that off if you wanted to. Now, one more thing, or a few more things actually. You have a lot of different kick snare patterns. So that's just putting the variations, more variations on the kick drum and snare drum, those two. Let's hear some more variations. I'm going to put my cursor off to the side for a moment. So there's all these very slight variations on kick snare patterns. Oh, like that one's very different. Cool. Oh, it's like a punk beat. So it's the same groove, but it's just like almost doubled. So anyway, there's a lot that you can check out there. I'm gonna set it to 1. And then the same thing with your kick snare, you have your hi-hat different groove patterns. So that's changing this. Hear how it opens up? Try this one. So he's hitting a little bit more there. Ah, cool, I was waiting for that one. So that's 16th notes on the hi-hat. Pretty neat. Oh, that's like open hi-hat. Or that's closed hi-hat. That's pretty neat. And then, same thing with percussion. So let's say we turn on the percussion. We have tambourine. We can change the tambourine thing. So these were like, I think one was like quarter notes and 8th notes, and these are 16th notes. And then that same thing goes for the shakers. Or hand claps. So there's so many different grooves that you could listen to and find something that you like. And you know, that's just the start. That's just Logan. You might not even like Logan. You might want to try Kyle. Different groove. And it also has them play different kits too. This has them play, he's playing a retro rock kit, whereas Kyle is playing a pop rock kit. So they're not only that, but you're even getting different drum kits, different drum sounds, which is also super cool. So anyway, you have this stuff. There we go. Let's say we like all the different settings that we have here. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to go to session view. So here is our drum track. Here is the track that we will be playing on. Let's add a few more measures. So we're going to go up to that plus sign. And I'm just going to bring it up to, let's just do 16. Cool. So that automatically looped it. So it just made the track longer. We can get a little bit more complicated if we are starting to think about like, oh, well, I want a verse beat to sound like this, but then I want a chorus beat to sound like that. You can get into that sort of thing, but we won't dive too deep into that today. If you have a specific question, feel free to reach out to one of our BMF teachers to help. I'm going to put the iPad down for a moment. Now I'm tracking with my earbuds that have a microphone built in. So this is going to be a really good test because I'm going to track a guitar part right now, and we're going to see how well the guitar is picked up through these earbud microphone things. So that'll be interesting. Okay, so I'm plugged in, or I'm not plugged in, my headphones are plugged in. I have my guitar, it's in my hands, and I have Logan ready to rock. I'm not going to turn on the metronome because I'll be rocking out with Logan. And when I press record, I have to select, by the way. I have to select this track because as you can see, Logan is selected right now and there's no record button because it's pre-programmed, right? So we're going to go over here. Now I have a record button because this is the track that we'll be recording on. The cursor is at the beginning. And what I was saying is that I don't need a metronome because an automatic count-in is built into record. So if I hit record, it's going to count me in, and then it's all me and Logan. So here we go. I'm going to press record, and we're going to track something. Cool. And then when it gets to the end, as you can see, it stopped recording. There's no more room. Let's listen back. So the cursor is all the way at the beginning. Here we go. I'm going to press play. Nice. Doesn't sound that bad. So if I take my cursor, go back up, or not the cursor, but I'm showing you guys. Here, I'm going to stop it. We're going to go back to session view. There is my guitar track that I just recorded. Here's my smart drummer. What we can do is if I slide this over, I can edit how loud everything is. So let's say I was like, oh, I want my guitar to be louder. I could turn the drums down a little bit. Press play. Drums are lower. I could slide that up. Also, if I wanted to isolate a track, I just wanted to hear drums, you press the headphones. That's your solo button. If I deselect it, boom. If I just want to hear the voice, or not the voice, the guitar. If I had lots of different tracks going, and I wanted to hear what it sounded like without the guitar, I could hit the mute button right up there for my guitar. And then all these other tracks that we might have cooking are doing their own thing. All right, so there you go. You've got your smart drummer. Add some more tracks to it too. It'll sound awesome. All right, guys. I'll catch you next time.